Now in Power Query you can create conditional columns, and conditional columns are a great way to implement logic on a row by row basis. And basically you're adding a column that's a conditional column. So let's start by having a play with sales 2019 to 2021, and I want to first of all replace the values that are null in these columns here. So I'm going to select 2019 and sales 2020 and 2021. I'm going to use the replace values button, which you'll find under transform, and replace values. And what I want to do is replace null with 0 and OK. So that gets rid of all the nulls. Now the next thing I want to do is create a conditional column. So I actually want to select the sale 2019 column, and I'm going to go to the add column tab in my ribbon and choose conditional column. And the logic I want to apply here is I want to create a conditional column called 2019 brands. Now, if a sale 2019 value is greater than or equal to 20,000, then I want to show that as having been a top seller. Then I want to add a clause, else if the sale figure for 2019 is greater than or equal to 10,000, then that is considered a popular brand. Otherwise, oops, excuse my typing. Otherwise, I want to just show it as standard. So this is going to create a column called 2019 brands, and if the sale figure is greater than or equal to 20,000, it's a top seller. If it's greater than or equal to 10,000, it's a popular brand, otherwise it's just a standard brand. And I go OK. And there it is there, 2019 brands. So I've actually created a conditional column which applies logic. And I'm going to drag that and just place that to the right of sale 2019. Now I'd like to do it for sale 2020 as well. So I click on sale 2020. On the add column tab in the ribbon, I hit conditional column. I'm going to say that this is called 2020 brands, and I'm basically going to say if the sale for 2020 is greater than or equal to 20,000, then it's considered to be a top seller. Add clause, otherwise if it's greater than or equal to 10,000, it's considered to be a popular brand. Else it's standard and OK. And then I want to move that column to the right of that column. If I then do the last column, click on this column, go to add column, go conditional column, and again say that this is the 2021 brands, and if 2021 is greater than or equal to 20,000, it's considered to be a top seller. Otherwise, if the brand is greater than or equal to 10,000, it's a popular brand. Otherwise, it is standard and OK. And so those are conditional columns. I'd like to create another conditional column, and this time it's for identifying financial year quarters. And so I'm going to go to, let me just have a look here. I'm going to go to the month column here. I'm going to go conditional column, and I'm going to call this financial quarters. Oops, come here. And I'm basically going to say, look, if the month is equal to January, then that is considered to be the fourth quarter, because the first quarter begins in April. So then if I say here the month is equal to February, then that too is the fourth quarter. Add another clause, and if the month is equal to March, then that's also the fourth quarter. But then if the month is equal to April, then we go into the first quarter and add another clause. If the month is equal to May, then that's the first quarter. And if the month is equal to June, then that's also the first quarter. But if the month is equal to July, then that is actually the second quarter. And if the month is equal to August, then that is the second quarter. And if the month is equal to September, then that is also the second quarter. And then finally we have the third quarter, and that is if the month is equal to October, then that is the third quarter. If the month is equal to November, third quarter. And lastly, if the month equals December, then that too is the third quarter. So we've got quite a involved if statement here. And if I go OK, I have created a column which is called financial quarters, and I am getting a null figure. Now let me explore that. The null figure is for the month October. So that implies that I've done a spelling mistake for October, because both of those are October. So let me have a look at this here, add conditional column, and let me have a look at this cog. So this is the settings. Now when I double click and go into the settings, I will be able to see that I've probably misspelled October, and I have. I've missed out a T. As soon as I hit the T, add that in, and OK, problem solved. So whenever you have done a query step and you feel that you may have made a mistake, as we often do, we need to be able to, instead of scratching at the starting completely again, we need to be able to go into this cog and make changes. And that, when I click it, brings up the settings that I made, and I can make a change. The other thing up here, if I hit this little V, this is the M language, which eventually we want to start getting used to. And this is basically saying that to this table we're adding a conditional column, and we're basically calling it financial quarters. And it's saying we name January quarter 4, February quarter 4, March quarter 4, April quarter 3. So you can see it's an if statement. If, then, else if, then, else if, then, else if, then, else if, then. So start having a look at the M language and getting familiar with it. And then I can close that back up again as well. But those are conditional columns.